Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we will discuss the topic Sociolinguistics from Unit 1, Block 6 of MEG 4, Aspects of Language. First, we will know what is sociolinguistics. It is a branch of linguistics that studies the relationship between language and society. The word socio means society and linguistics means scientific study of language. The main idea is that language cannot be studied in isolation because it is always used by people living in society. Language and society are closely connected. Language helps people to communicate, share ideas, express emotions, and build relationships. Similarly, society influences the way people speak. For example, our language changes according to our education, profession, gender, region, and social class. That is why sociolinguists study language in its social context, not separately. We can say the relationship between language and society is complex. Sociolinguists try to answer questions such as why do people speak differently? Why do language change over time? How does language show identity? How is language connected with power? Why do dialects exist? How do social factors influence language? These questions form the basis of sociolinguistic research. We will know about the growth of sociolinguistics. Until 1960s, linguistics mainly focused on grammar and sentence structure. Scholars like Chomsky were interested in the ideal speaker's knowledge of language, that is competence. Later linguists realized that language should also be studied as it is actually used in everyday life. That is, the focus shifted from competence to performance. As a result, sociolinguistics developed into an independent discipline. One of the most important ideas in sociolinguistics is variation. Variation simply means differences in the way people use language, whether it is at phonological level, morphological level, syntactic level, or at the semantic level. These differences may occur because of region, age, gender, education, social class, occupation, or the situation in which people are speaking. No two speakers use language exactly in the same way. Now, this variation can be divided into regional variation and social variation. Regional variation refers to differences based on geographical location. These differences create dialects. Social variation refers to differences caused by social class, caste, education, occupation, gender, or age. So language varies not only from one place to another but also from one social group to another social group. Before sociolinguistics became popular, dialectologists study regional varieties of language. Important scholars include Jules Guilleron, George Wenker, and Hans Kurrat. They prepared dialect maps and used isoglasses to mark language boundaries. However, they mainly studied only geographical variation and ignored many social factors. Sociolinguistics and sociology of language. Although these terms look similar, they are different. Sociolinguistics studies how society affects language. Sociology of language studies how language affects society. For example, language planning. So the difference lies in the main focus of study. Now, while researching, doing quality research, that is in ethnography of communication, Del Hymes believed that studying grammar alone was not enough. He introduced concept of communicative competence. According to him, we should study how people actually use language in real life situations. He gave the example of children who had communicative competence and naturally learn to speak according to the situation. They are easily influenced by the culture around them. He was interested in questions like who is speaking, to whom, when, where, for what purpose. William Labau is one of the founder of modern sociolinguistics. In his New York City study, he examined the pronunciation of R in three departments: That is, he focused on R pronunciation after vowels, which comes after vowels. Now he found that pronunciation differed according to the social class. He divided the groups into different social class like Saks Fifth Avenue, which is upper class customers, Mackey's, that is middle class customers, and S Clean, that is working class customers. Labau focused on the pronunciation of R sound, as at that time New York English showed two patterns. Some speakers pronounced R clearly, such as fourth. Others either pronounced it weakly or did not pronounce it at all, saying something like fourth. So, Labau found a clear relationship between pronunciation and social class. Upper class speakers, Saks, pronounced R sound more clearly. Middle class speakers, Mackeys, also pronounced R, especially when speaking, more carefully. Working class speakers, S clean, were least likely to pronounce R clearly. An interesting finding was that middle class speakers increased their use of R the most when asked to repeat themselves. This is called hypercorrection because they were trying to use the prestigious pronunciation. According to him, variation is systematic and closely related to society. However, there are limitations to this model. It assumes that societies are divided into classes. In practice, people do not live in such clear-cut layers and do interact with other social class members as well. So now, even Peter Trudgill carried out a similar study in Norwich, England. He found that higher social class generally used more standard forms while lower social classes used more non-standard forms. He also observed that women often preferred more prestigious language forms. Now, Leslie Milroy introduced the idea of social networking. She showed that people living in close-knit communities tend to preserve their traditional way of speaking. Strong social networks help maintain local language varieties. Weak networks encourage language change. These strong social networks, they do not accept change. They maintain the local language norms, which she called vernacular norms. Now, language as a marker of identity. Language is one of the strongest markers of identity. Through language, people show which group they belong to. People follow the language norms of their social group. This is called conformity. At the same time, every individual has unique experiences and expresses themselves differently. This is called individualism. Language variation results from the balance between these two forces. Now, language can be also seen as a tool of power. Language is not only a means of communication, it is also a source of power. It plays an important role in education, religious matters, administration, media, law and politics. The language used by governments, schools and institutions often determines access to opportunities and social status. Fishman beautifully explained the scope of sociolinguistics by saying that it studies who speaks or writes what language or what variety, to whom, when and for what purpose. This particular sentence also is very important. Now, to conclude, language and society are inseparable. Language reflects the structure of society while society shapes the way language is used. Sociolinguistics helps us understand language variation, language change, identity, power and social meaning. In simple words, sociolinguistics builds a bridge between language and society, helping us understand both more deeply. Thank you for watching this video. If you found this lecture helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.